Hello and welcome to Legislative Report. I'm State Representative Mark Gillen of the 128th District in Berks and Lancaster counties. As our economy changes and job opportunities shift from one sector to another, it's important that higher education quickly responds to these trends. Our community colleges are uniquely set up to be flexible and work with employers and the community to react to current employment trends. In the 2014-15 academic year, 314,000 students were enrolled in one of Pennsylvania's community colleges. They have become an excellent choice for those who want to receive customized job training or want to lower the cost of a four-year degree. Joining me today to inform us on our local resource is Dr. Anna Weitz, President of Reading Area Community College. Dr. Weitz, welcome to the program.
Thank you, Representative Gillen. I'm glad to be here.
I started at a community college many years ago. You're the president of a community college. I later went on to get a bachelor's degree and a master's degree at Kutztown University. It was an affordable place for me to start. It's still affordable.
Absolutely.
And when I read the newspaper last week, I pulled out a little article about the foundation that you have there, and if I'm not mistaken, I think it was around $700,000 a year. So you have an affordable community college and you have additional help for those that have special needs. Is that correct?
Absolutely. And we are very pleased to be able to say to people that it is a wonderful place to start. We are using two different marketing approaches to try and get the message out to families in Berks County. One is that we are a great place to start your college degree. We like to say that we're the best place for the first 2 years of a four-year degree, not only in terms of price, but also in terms of access, the support services that we offer, the small classes, and a highly qualified faculty. And we have great agreements with four-year institutions, private, public, in Pennsylvania, outside of Pennsylvania. So it's very easy for our students to be able to go from Reading Area Community College to a four-year degree to get that bachelor's if that's what they want. The other theme that we're really emphasizing is something that was started by the Greater Reading Economic Partnership, which is a campaign called Careers in 2 Years. And we, with their permission, are using that as a marketing theme that says RAC is a great place for careers in 2 years or even less. Now, one of the things that's really important for us to emphasize to parents and to students is no longer does the dichotomy of workforce or career training or college. That's a choice that people don't have to make. As you well know, we can provide excellent workforce and career programs for students, and many of those transfer on to bachelor's degrees. So we really think that we're a great alternative, and frankly, we're becoming more a first choice institution for many students and families in Berks County.
I have to say that when I've gone to the graduation ceremonies and the luncheon, what struck me was how many longtime staff people that you have. If somebody's getting a 30-year award, 35-year, 40-year award. When I think of quality in an institution, I think of staff retention and longevity. I think RAC certainly has that.
Well, we do, and we're getting ready to celebrate our 45th anniversary next year. As a matter of fact, we'll be having a whole public celebration in early 2017 to mark the 45th anniversary of the college. But you're right, we actually have still people who have been at the college for 30 or 35 or close to 40 years in various professional positions. Why do they stay? Look, no one in public higher education is making a fortune. We all are fortunate to be in that arena where we are able to work with students and make a difference in their lives. And that is why highly trained individuals with a lot of experience choose to stay at Reading Area Community College. We have created an environment not only for students, but also for our employees, where they really understand that working together, we're all actually making a difference in Berks County. And that's something that I get very excited about, and I think you can tell when you attend our events. And by the way, we're so appreciative that you do attend. Folks do notice, our students and our faculty and staff notice. I think you see the kind of enthusiasm and dedication that our faculty and staff have. So thanks for pointing that out.
There's a tremendous rapport amongst the staff there. I see a fraternity, tremendous friendships on the campus there, and that can't but help permeate in student life. The staff genuinely enjoy being there. They seem very passionate about their call in life. And when I think of where the community college is located, I went to a community college when I first started out years ago that was out in the country. Reading Area Community College, it's within walking distance. It's on a bus route.
Right. It's
an easy commute. And you've got it right there in the cog of a county with 400-some thousand people.
Well, we do. And we're also increasing the number of courses that we have online. That makes it easy for people who either don't want to drive to our campus or simply can't because their lives are too complicated. The nice thing about online education, if you're capable of learning that way, it's not a modality for everybody, but increasingly, a lot of people want that flexibility. They can either come to our campus or they can take a course online. And we have a lot of students that are doing some of both. They come to the campus because they like that personal interaction with faculty and staff. They like being in a campus environment. But other times they're supplementing their education with an online course that they can do 24/7. We now have 5 full degree programs available online, and we'll be adding 4 more during the next year. And we are seeing that the fastest part of our growth is in online education. Again, some of those are students who only take online courses, but a great many of the students who take online courses also come to our downtown campus because they like that kind of atmosphere. We're very easy to get to, as you know. I think sometimes people think if you're in the city of Reading, it's a hard place to get to, but that's not true for the RAC campus. It's right over the Penn Street Bridge, very easy to get to. And so we're happy to be in the city because we think we make a difference for the city. But I would remind everybody that although our name is Reading Area Community College, we are sponsored by the County of Berks.
Exactly.
And so we serve about 35% of our enrollment are city residents, but that leaves 65% that live in the rest of Berks County.
Absolutely. I'm glad you brought up the online courses because I noticed that on the billboard off the side of the highway the other day.
Right.
And so I think you're getting your message out there. You have other colleges in the area.
Right.
Now, do those colleges, in terms of the relationship with you, see you as a feeder institution as well?
They do, and we have lots of wonderful partnerships. We have agreements with the other 4 Berks County colleges, Kutztown University, Alvernia, Penn State Berks, and Albright College. One of the things that many people don't understand is that we also have what's called a cross-registration agreement. And what that means is that a student who is enrolled full-time at any of those 5 institutions on a space-available basis, if they meet the prerequisites, can take a course at another one of the institutions. That works out great for RAC because you pay the RAC tuition. So on a space-available basis, we have students who take courses at Alvernia, Albright, Penn State Berks, and Kutztown, but they're paying the RAC tuition rate, which clearly is cheaper than the others. Why do we have that arrangement? We do it so that we don't have to have duplication of courses. There might be some specialized higher level courses that community college students would benefit from, but it doesn't make sense for us to offer that course. So we can send on an individual basis a student to say Alvernia or Albright or Penn State Berks, and they get a chance to be on that campus and experience that learning environment, but they're paying the tuition and fees at Reading Area Community College. I think that's a great arrangement. We do occasionally get students from the other 4 colleges who come and take a technical course at RAC. It's a great cooperative arrangement. So our students benefit, our faculty and staff. We also have lots of conversations among the faculty and staff among the 5 Berks County colleges. I think that benefits our community because we see ourselves more as partners than as we do competitors.
Our larger community has some socioeconomic challenges, and correct me if I'm wrong, I always viewed RAC as a place of hope. If you didn't necessarily take high school seriously or it wasn't emphasized in your home, and the bell finally went off, I'll just tell you honestly, being transparent, it was August before I finally made a decision that I was going to go to college, and I chose a community college. I don't know where I would have gone, what I would have been able to afford if it were not a local community college. Your institution, it seems to me, is offering hope to folks that maybe didn't take academics seriously or challenged in some other area of life.
Well, we do that, absolutely do. There was a phrase that was once used in another state to describe its community college system, and it's a phrase that I like to use when I talk about RAC. It's called democracy's college. And what that means is everyone has an equal opportunity, has an equal access and an equal chance to be successful. And so yes, we have students who have not taken high school seriously, or maybe they dropped out of high school. And maybe they kind of clicked in when they were 30 or 35 years old, that, wait a minute, I want to be doing something very different with my life. So we have what I call the A to Z of RAC. We help students earn their GEDs. We help other individuals learn to speak English. We have remedial courses in reading, writing, and mathematics. But we also have honors programs. And that's why I'm saying we're increasingly becoming a first choice institution for students and their families, because we have an outstanding honors program. We have nationally recognized technology training programs. And so that's what I call the A to Z of RAC. We take people where they are and try to get them where they want to be. And that's why I think we really are Democracy's College.
I'm going to suspect for both of us, when you and I went to school, when we went to college, we first started out, we were in a sea of 18 to 22-year-olds. What's it like at RAC now in terms of age, demographics?
It's beautifully diverse. The average age is around 26. However, the fastest growing part of our population is the younger students. As I said, we're becoming more of a first choice institution for those coming out of high school or maybe a year or so out of high school. But our average age is around 26. We are also increasingly diverse. We are Pennsylvania's only higher education of any kind, four-year university, private or public, to meet the federal threshold to be a Hispanic serving institution. What does that mean? It means that at least 25% of the students in your credit programs self-identify as Hispanic. At RAC, it's closer to 32%. Then when you add in other folks who identify as African American or Asian or all the little boxes that you get to check on the forms, we are over 41% non-Caucasian. When we do student surveys, as we do all the time, trying to get feedback from our customers, our students, consistently, one of the things that is rated the highest is how much they enjoy the diversity. Ethnic, age, background, socioeconomic status, and it is something that we really celebrate at RAC. So it is not a sea of 18, 19, and 20-year-olds. It is a sea of, I say I have the most beautiful student body of any college president in Pennsylvania because of that age and ethnic diversity and the background that those students bring to the classroom really enriches the conversations when they're in those learning settings.
A few nuts and bolts, ballpark numbers, approximate number of full or part-time students at the college?
In our credit programs, we have about 4,100 students who are working towards an associate degree or some kind of credit certificate. But if you add in all the other non-credit programs, whether they be literacy programs, whether they be short-term occupational training programs, or customized technology programs for employers, in any given year, we will serve between 10 and 11,000 different individuals at what people think of as that little campus in downtown Reading. So that's a lot of people in Berks County that are being served.
Clearly. Somebody's out there watching. They say, maybe I think I'd like to go to college after all. What is it going to cost the average, 12 to 15 credit hours type? They want to dive into this thing. What should they expect in the way of an annual cost? Now, we also know there's scholarships out there.
Right.
There's money.
It's going to cost them, depending upon what it is that they want to take, whether they want to go 12 credits, 13, 14 credits.
Right.
They are going to be able to go full-time for about $4,500 a year. Now, we just had to raise tuition and fees. The Board of Trustees didn't want to do it. I didn't want to recommend it, but the reality is our costs keep going up. But it was a modest increase. $3 per credit in tuition, $3 per credit in fees. So in our mind, any increase is not good, but it was a modest increase, one that we felt that we could pass on to our students. So for about $4,500 per year, a student is going to be able to attend Reading Area Community College. I'm glad you mentioned our scholarships. Our Foundation for RAC, which is made up of all volunteer board members, we are giving out $700,000 a year in scholarships. That's above and beyond the federal and state grant programs. And we are giving away millions, pass-through dollars of federal Pell grants, state FIA grants, and other programs, work-study programs, and what have you.
Let me see how well I read that newspaper article. I think it was 2006 and 7. It was $200,000 of grant money, and 16, 17 now is up to $700,000.
That's just our private foundations.
Yeah, which is commendable because the community has really stepped up and supported.
Exactly right. And again, that's on top of millions in federal and state aid. And we use our donors to try and prime the pump. So those scholarships are typically the last dollar in. Someone whose federal or state aid, for instance, might fall just a little bit short. We certainly don't want to see someone drop by the wayside when they're in their last year before they get their degree. So our foundation is very strategic in the use of its dollars. We also have donor-designated scholarships that are particularly for certain populations. One is we have some wonderful donors who every year for the last 5 or 6 years have supported the full-time costs of 18 graduates of the Reading School District. Because they understand, as we all understand, that the future of our county and our community is also tied to the future of Reading and the folks at the Reading School District.
Clearly.
So we have wonderful donors who understand that it's important for us to be able to give those dollars out. I think the article also pointed out, and I had to say this at our board meeting, there are community colleges who are perhaps a little bit bigger than we are throughout the Commonwealth who would be very envious of us giving out $700,000 in scholarships. They give out great amounts, but they might give out anywhere from $100,000 to $300,000 or $400,000. So we should never take for granted the generosity of our donors. It's because they believe in what we're doing. I think donors in Berks County support our foundation because they understand that we get the job done when it prepares students for transfer, for careers, and increasingly for both.
I'm sitting out there, I'm watching the program, and I say, college, that's a scary word. I never even thought that I would be going to college, and I felt very much the same way myself. But my English language skills aren't what they should be. It looks like I might need some remedial work in math or English. There's help for them at RAC?
Absolutely. That's one of our specialties. I think community colleges really excel in these areas, and RAC, we don't take a back seat to anyone in this area. As I said, we have non-credit English as a second language programs. We also have what we call credit equivalent. If you're earning a degree, you're working towards an associate degree. We have a wonderful multi-language learning lab, which, by the way, just got a $100,000 investment, that's how good it is, from a local family philanthropy to support the work of this center. That's how good this local family philanthropy thinks we're doing. So we can help you with your English, we can help you strengthen your math skills, we can help you with your reading, and a lot of people have not had the opportunity to really practice writing in the same setting that you're going to need in a college environment. We do all of those things very, very well. It might take you a little bit longer to get your degree because we do want you to strengthen those basic skills before you move on to the regular college courses. But frankly, we think if we didn't do that, we'd be doing a disservice to the students. So tutoring services, remedial, but also don't forget the high-end honors programs and the nationally recognized technology training that we're doing for business and industry.
Great insights. Hold the thoughts. We're coming back. Let's take a quick break. Legislative report will return in a moment.
Did you know the Avenue of Flags presentation at Indiantown Gap National Cemetery has over 500 casket flags? Among the flags displayed are Commonwealth, territorial, and military flags. The flags are tied to 20-foot poles spaced 40 feet apart on both sides of the main drive of the cemetery. It takes about 2 hours to set up and take down all of the flags. Volunteers are encouraged to help with this task and must be at least 13 years of age. All of the flags are donated to the Avenue of Flags by families of the deceased. Now you know.
Did you know that Act 16 of 1999 honors one of the greatest leaders in the Pennsylvania House of Representatives? The Matthew J. Ryan Legislative Office Building, once known as the Capitol Annex, is located next to the main Capitol building and honors the late Speaker of the House, Matthew J. Ryan. Those who visit this building will observe the magnificent architectural designs providing eloquence and grandeur to the building. Known as one of the greatest members in the history of the Pennsylvania State House, Matthew Ryan started his career in the legislature in 1963 and was elected Speaker in 1981. His charisma and knowledge will forever be reflected in the building now named after this great legislative leader. Now you know.
Welcome back to the program. I'm State Representative Mark Gillen. Today we're learning more about the Reading Area Community College from its president, Dr. Anna Weitz. Welcome back to the program, and quick question. I'm sure folks would like to learn a little bit more about Anna. Where did she come from? What appetites did she have educationally growing up? How did you land at Reading Area Community College?
Well, I always wanted to work in education. I grew up in Portland, Maine, went to undergraduate college at Boston University, and got a master's at the State University of New York at Albany, always with a goal of working in education. I came up through higher education in terms of the student support systems. I was a counselor and I worked in student affairs for many, many years. Then I really started my career at Lycoming College in Williamsport, where I had my first full-time job. And for personal reasons, I took a break from that, and I decided there was a local community college in Williamsport. It doesn't exist anymore. It was the precursor of Penn College of Technology. And I got a job there, and all of a sudden it clicked for me, Mark. This is a place that really, again, deals with people who need a second chance, all the way up to have no other options for college, and I fell in love with community colleges. Got my doctorate at Penn State University in a specialty in career development and vocational psychology, because I've always been fascinated about what makes people tick in terms of their career choices. Again, very in sync with community colleges. Often running as a community college administrator in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, and New York. And then for 5 years, I was the president of Pennsylvania Highlands Community College in the western part of Pennsylvania, Johnstown, Cambria County. And just 9 years ago tomorrow, I started at Reading Area Community College as the president. So I fell in love with community colleges because I really saw the link between education, career development, and opportunity. And to me, that's really what community colleges are about.
Let me ask you a personal question.
Sure.
I want you to think in terms of what was tough for you. When I was in college, I can remember taking an anatomy and physiology course, and I put more time and energy and effort. I mean, everywhere I was walking, I had my note cards. And that was probably the toughest course that I'd ever taken in my life. What was tough for Anna? You've got a doctorate, and people say, well, it comes easy to you.
Math.
Math, okay.
Math. And even when I was in my doctoral program and I was in my early 30s at Penn State, and I had to do all the statistics courses for my doctorate, I really was sweating bullets, quite frankly. And thank heavens we had good graduate school buddies who formed study groups and tutorial sessions and what have you. Math is not something that comes easy to me.
Okay.
And so I really can identify with students who say, I don't get it, it isn't something that's in my wheelhouse, and we're not asking people to become professional mathematicians. We're trying to get them to have numeric literacy at a level that's appropriate for their career plans. So if you want to be in engineering, you have to have a different level of mathematical literacy than you do if you want to go into another occupation. So that's what we try and help students. We try and demystify it. We're not trying to get everyone to be mathematical experts, but you do have to have enough math or enough science or enough literature or enough writing ability, for instance. Almost all occupations require some level of writing. You're not going to write a novel, but you might have to write a report. You might have to write up case notes or patient notes, send a literate email to your boss or to your coworkers. So we try and make it very practical in terms of helping people understand why they have certain academic requirements. But for me, math was it. That was the real struggle for me.
Writing skills are critical.
They really are.
I think I freshly appreciated after I came to the State House of Representatives, because if you're sending a message out there to thousands and thousands of people,
Exactly
you want to
right.
make sure it's precise. But I believe it's helped you to be a better administrator that you had your own academic challenge in math. Somebody comes along and they're struggling in some area, you can put your arm around them and go alongside them and say, hey, here was my area of challenge. Career and technology.
Right.
Let's talk a little bit about what RAC's doing in that area.
Well, we're very fortunate in Berks County to have two outstanding career and technology centers. The Berks Career and Technology Center, the Reading-Muhlenberg Career and Technology Center. Berks serving 16 school districts, Reading-Muhlenberg serving those 2 school districts, so all 18 are covered. We have a wonderful partnership with both of those called the Technical Academy. In a nutshell, think of it as an honors program for high school students who want to go into technology. So while they're in high school, they go to one of the CTCs, the Career and Technology Center, and if accepted, they can go into the Technical Academy, which is a partnership with RAC. They can be in electronic health records, they can be in a business management course, they can be in an IT networking course, an IT web design course, or mechatronics engineering. When they graduate from high school, they are getting dual enrollment credits. They will all get up to 18 RAC college credits at no cost while they are still in high school. Then during their senior year, they can come to the RAC campus. They do then pay our tuition and fees. They can earn up to another 6 or 9 credits. So depending upon the option, you have high school students who are graduating from career and technologies centers with anywhere from 18 to 27 Reading Area Community College credits at very little cost to them. We got into this because we knew that our community needed technology-based workers, and we also wanted to show there frankly is no sense in reinventing the wheel. When we've got great high school partners like our career and technology centers, why not just work with them? We're taking the same model and we're beginning to look at what they're calling different academies in high schools, STEM academies, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So we're really reaching out to all of our school districts and our career and technology centers because we know that young people are going to have to think very seriously about what their career options are. And we want to be part of that conversation and part of that resource for them, quite frankly.
And when they finish with a career and technology program, these are good paying jobs.
They really are.
You don't necessarily come out of it with a lot of student debt.
Right.
You don't have to travel across the country to go to college. It's right here in our own backyard.
Well, think about it. If you come to RAC and you've already got anywhere from 18 to 27 credits, think how much time that's going to shave off your associate degree and also your bachelor's degree. The new partner in this is Bloomsburg University, where they're offering courses right in the downtown RAC campus to complete a bachelor's degree in technology leadership studies. So we've got it all at Reading Area Community College.
We've got less than a minute to go. I wrote a note many, many years ago to a college professor. English was my challenge, still is my challenge. She jokingly said to me one day after I bombed a quiz, she goes, "Where are you from anyway, Mark Gillen?" "Podunk, West Virginia." I apologize to West Virginians. But I wrote a note to her of appreciation, telling her how much her personal one-on-one time meant to me. Is there somebody in the back of your mind, came back later, a success story, somebody who went on to higher education, a career, a profession that you can think of, or maybe a mosaic of somebody, if it's not an individual, a success story out there?
I see them every day at Reading Area Community College. The ones that really get to me are the single parents. A lot of them are moms, but some of them are dads, who will come up to me when I have a chance to interact with them and say, "Thank you for having RAC be here. I'm not only doing this for myself, I'm doing it for my kids." And that says it all, because this is what the face of Berks County is like. We have to invest in the kids, we have to invest in the moms and dads. It's in everybody's best interest. So those are the stories that make me come to work every single day.
Well, thank you for the essential work that you're doing in Berks County, and we're going to close out at this point. I'm State Representative Mark Gillen. If you have any questions about what we've discussed today, feel free to contact me at my local office or through my website. That information will be shown in a moment. Thanks for watching, and please join me next time for Legislative Report.